This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Alice Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports. Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Hope you
show us here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out New Cat Body by Jeremy Jones.
Good afternoon. It is Lions Talk with Smoking JB, and Von Doom is here, boys. How about that? What's up?
Me?
Me too. We got Davey and Harpazo, also known as Brent, in the chat. Good afternoon, JB. One Pride. Great day, Lions fans. Hey, Dwayne and Dave. Good afternoon, JB. Michael Huck is in here already saying good afternoon. So what I want to start out with is the results of this week's 8 people that got into the Pick'ems contest because they actually listened to instructions. I'm going to start at the bottom because I want to leave the suspense. King SJ and Jim Jackson are tied at 6, but in 7th place is Jim Jackson because he actually put a score for the Monday Night Football game, unlike a lot of people. In 7th place, all alone, was J.I. They're 6th place with 7 wins. In 6th place is Dwayne Keene with 8, who didn't put a score. But Moonscar did, so he's in 5th. We had 3 people tied at 9, and none of them put a score. It's Mike Huck. Oh, Mike Huck's at the top, excuse me. Matt Henry, Will Vogel, and Kitty Ken.
Kitty Ken!
He got 9 right. And Smoking Jeremy B, Sarah, and Mike Huck are all at 10. I just put me in there because I wanted to show that I had a good week again. I'm not at the top of the list, though. That's Sarah. What's the deal with the game? Weekly pick'ems on Wednesday night, as long as you submit your picks before the Thursday night game. I had a community post with the pick'ems picture. I'm going to post another one today. If you make your picks and you lead at the end of the month, you get a free custom jersey from the team of your choice. Right now, it's Sarah, a Vikings fan, and Mike Huck at the top, tied at 10. Neither put the score in. But congratulations, you guys. You're leading the pack this week. And that's because we all had the exact same picks. That's the crazy thing. The only ones we got wrong, we all picked Baltimore. It was Cincy. Almost everybody in America picked Baltimore, or picked Baltimore, but I picked Cincy. I'm sorry. That's where I got that one wrong. Uh, what was the one that everybody had as a favorite? Commanders. And the Steelers won. Well, very few people picked the Steelers to win that game. Everybody picked the Bears, but Sarah, Mike, and I all picked New England.
The Bears are trash.
I don't know how any Bears fan can say that Eberflus hasn't lost that locker room.
Oh man, I just heard that a little while ago, and that had me laughing my ass off. I'm sorry, your offensive coordinator doesn't lose your locker room. Your
No,
coach does. He was a
no,
scapegoat.
and the fact they still have Chris Henry, the same O-line coach they had with Nagy, and still have him with Flus, is the reason why this team will go nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
They should have gutted that roster. Once they decided to change OC, they should have changed all the assistants.
You know what? I agree with you, but at the same time, I'm also a little jealous of the Bears right now because they're actually doing stuff, getting rid of people already.
Yeah, I know, Brent. You were with me on the chat, but make sure I'm going to do the community post on the kneecap biting YouTube page, and you can put it in the comments. As long as you're in 3 weeks, you have a chance to win. Because every now and then, those guys at the top forget to put their picks in. We've all seen it, haven't we, Von Doom?
Dude, the one year I was doing one of those survivor pools, and I completely forgot about it one week, and I was leading the thing, and I got disqualified on the rest of the thing because I forgot to put my picks in.
So it is PFF Tuesday. This is what I do for the Lions on Tuesday. We go over the game, and this will be the last we talk about the Texans game, because guess what? It's last week, and practice starts this week for the next week. So tomorrow, going forward, I'll be releasing who was at practice, who wasn't, and all that good stuff. But our top 5 offensive players, according to PFF, at 5 is tight end Sam Laporta. At 4, Jamison Williams, 74.1. At 3, Panay Sewell, 82.2. At 2, Kevin Ziegler, a 91.2 overall grade. And number 1 was Frank the Tank Ragnow. On the YouTube page, there's if you slide past where it says videos, live, and all that, there's a community part.
Is there?
Yep. On the banner that has the heading where you go.
Hold on a minute. So he's video.
This was an anonymous donation from one of our fans for the money for this jersey, and we thank him. And I'm leaving it at that. He wanted me to do something cool, and all we ask, other than do like you guys always do, because my subs keep going up. We're still at 529. It's just share the show.
Oh,
I don't care. I'm not begging for subs. I'm not like that. But I will say, when I was at 180 to start on January 1st, and we're at 529 right now. If we get to 680 by December 31st, we're paid by YouTube people from our short views. Let's go.
hey, I found it. I really did not know about this.
Yeah.
The Giants. The Giants, Michael Huck. The Giants.
Well, I don't think the Giants are as big of a dumpster fire. So I'm going to post that up after the show today. I'm going to post up this week's week. If they don't make the comment, they're not playing. Every week, the comments underneath the post. So I always ask everybody, so I know they commented, hit a like, because the notification tells me every time there's a like on the post. I'm also, every night when I get the injury report for the Lions, I'm going to post it as a community post so everybody knows what I'm going to be talking about the next day, because that makes it a hell of a lot easier. Our bottom 5 on offense. At number 5, Jared Goff with a 55.4. At 4, Brock Wright, 55.3. At 3, the Leaf Raymond with the 54.1. At 2, Shane Zylstra with the 52. And our worst player this game, according to PFF, was David Montgomery. See, and I just think the Bears are more than just an O-line away. They're a competent coach away. I
I
think
think
Brian Daboll can be as much as you hate him, can be a competent coach. But with the O-line one, yeah, and you would be on that whole kick I said about, I think my fake kid came out of the Genesee County area for the mentally challenged.
maybe. You know what though? Not that I hate Brian DeBall. I hate what Brian DeBall's done the past 2 years here with not being able to develop Daniel Jones. Now, may that just be Daniel Jones freaking being that crappy, or Brian DeBall not being adapted, being a head coach and being a better offensive coordinator. That could be one way or the other.
So let's go to the defensive side of the ball for the top 5 defensive grades. At 5, Aleem McNeil with a 72.6. That's a solid grade. Anything above a 65 is good to great, according to PFF. Everything 65 and below is average to bad. Does that make sense how I'm wording it, Mondoom? This is according to the PFF scale. At 4 was linebacker Ben Neiman with a 74.7. And then we get a jump. At 3, safety Brian Branch with an 83.8. At 2, even though he only had 8 snaps, he had a sack. Nose tackle Patrick O'Connor with an 86.5. And number 1 overall with 2 picks in the game and passes defended was Carlton Davis the third. So now we're going to get to the bottom 5 defensive grades. And this is where, at 5, Trevor Nowaski with the 56.6. So if that's your 5th worst, you're not horrible, but you're not good.
Defense on neither team was horrible.
Right.
It was the quarterback play for both of them that was horrible.
I know.
It was comical. It was beautiful. I loved it.
Patrick O'Connor was a practice squad guy we elevated to the active roster. He was a UDFA nose tackle that we poached off of somebody's roster right before the season. Number 4, El Kadim Muhammad that we poached from the New Orleans Saints, 53.8. And this is where it gets bad. Even though he has a bad overall grade, where he was great at was tackling. They gave Jack Campbell a 49, and I didn't see it. I thought he had a good game. I was watching him pat away passes and tackling people, but that's just me. Terrion Arnold, because of the pass interference, got a 48.7. And the worst one overall, rookie defensive tackle, Mekhi Wingo. But you're talking about a 6th-round pick you expected. And I'm sorry, in the first year, I expect cornerbacks to struggle. Now go ahead and address Grant DeWitt there.
Explain to me exactly what you mean, how he's coaching with one hand tied behind his back. Yes, if you're going to say Daniel Jones, okay, we get it. He was kind of stuck with Daniel Jones. But other than that, we've added offensive linemen. We got him a running back. We've been drafting good the past 2 years. He's making bad play calls. He's not playing up to the strengths of the team. He's throwing other people under the bus.
Bad sign of leadership there.
That's what kind of bothers me about that. And then at the end of the day, he hasn't developed Daniel Jones. He was supposed to be the quarterback whisperer.
Yeah. Tim Levine, hey, Jeremy Bullrick, do you think our D was off the charts? I mean, they kept us in the game. Well, let's go into what was the best parts of the game, according to PFF. Run blocking, 83.4. That's solid. Tackling, 82.7. Another solid performance. Run defense, 76.1. Defense, 73.2. Receiving was a 72.5. Yeah, that's because he has a neck and a shoulder strain. He's a game time decision if he'll be able to go. And every time Dan Campbell has said hopeful, they're scratched.
They said AC joint injury for Laporta. Give him a couple cortisone shots, he'll be good to go. Brent DeWitt, yes, they kind of hampered with Daniel Jones. He did just enough that 1 year to make it so he couldn't draft his replacement. And yes, he 100% took play calling away from Mike Kopka.
So J.I. is here. You want to update him, Von Doom?
J.I., your things I made you just went out to the mailman about 10 minutes before the show went live. So they should be headed your way, sir.
So by the end of the week, you'll have your stuff. Pretty much.
They should, man.
Yeah, it's only going down to Georgia.
I do not trust the U.S. Post as much as I trust the U.S. Post Office less than I trust Spark.
So does James Houston.
I got a story for you later.
Okay. So I just wanted to let you guys know, even though we had bad grades, guess what? They weren't as bad as we were in that Bucks game. And we actually held them to under 300 yards of offense, which moved us up in the total defense ranking.
You know what? Your defense really didn't have a bad game. It's golf just put them in a lot of situations that had to get them on the field a lot.
Right. And we still only gave up one red zone touchdown in that time.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was hit from a deep shot.
Let me ask you this real quick. Now, you brought this up. Terrion Arnold, his grade was low because of pass interferences. If they would have caught the two missed ones, how low does that grade drop? Like, how did they figure that out?
It probably would have been off the chart. But I think that last one, if you actually watch it in real time, the reason why it wasn't called is Anzalone tipped that ball.
He was all over him before Anzalone was touched, though. But I understand why the ref probably didn't call it because he probably didn't see it because it was bang, bang. But he was kind of up his behind before that ball got touched by Anzalone. But I don't even care.
In all actuality, I think Laporta's sitting this week and he's going to be out, which will hurt a lot of fantasy teams out there. But at the same time, when we didn't have Laporta in 2022 and we got rid of TJ Hawkinson and everybody was like, oh my God, we traded away TJ Hawkinson.
Brock Wright performed.
Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, and the third guy, the one we never see play.
Oh, Neil Dick McCouch-Schumacher.
Yeah, that guy. But anyways, those three put up 12 touchdowns the rest of that season. Ralph Williams in the chat. Good to see you, brother.
Every time you say it, it just reminds me.
But yeah, I know. We announced that Monday. That's when we found out that Dak was out for the season. He needs a hamstring.
Yep.
Hamstring surgery, ending his year. What a great way to waste $60 million.
I wonder if Jerry's got a pill in there to get him out of that contract.
Leaving him in the game when he had no business being in it because they were blown out. That's what got Dak hurt. Same with CeeDee Lamb that week.
CeeDee Lamb and Laporta had the same injury. How the hell is that?
Okay, I found this on the web for when the Ford.
I say CeeDee Lamb and Siri starts trying to Google. Like, you have to do searches. Wow.
Donkey Kong's back. Super Bowl or bust. Yoli Cruz. Right. You know what's funny is everybody was freaking out when Laporta got hurt in week 18. Remember all this, Von Doom? And we signed Zach Ertz. Guess who never played the entire playoffs?
Zach Ertz.
Guess who's balling out with the Commanders right now because we didn't re-sign him?
Zach Ertz.
Amen.
I can't be happier about the Dallas cold turd situation. I like Dallas losing. I don't like Dak being hurt because
it makes it harder for teams to prepare now.
No, like it doesn't do anything for me. With them being bad, it doesn't like shut up Cowboys fans. They're Cowboys fans.
Yep, Dallas got more snaps out of Dak than Jets did out of AR last year. Well, that's easy. The only plays that Aaron Rodgers had more than was Emmanuel Mosley and Abraham Lincoln. Come on, Doom. It's trending towards Iffy and Martin might be elevated as soon as this week. It's looking like next week for Mosley, which that doesn't bother me at all. I would rather make sure he's completely healthy before he ever takes the field.
Screw him.
Put 1K on Lions, Houston, Miami as a 3-team lock for everybody. AR earned those checks last year. Sure he did. You know what's funny is he really didn't earn it this year either. You know why? He already has more interceptions this season than Zach Wilson had last weekend, but they didn't want Zach Wilson.
I don't think Zach Wilson was ever the problem. I think Robert Salah was the problem there.
And the O-line. What's the record of the Giants so far? Isn't it 2-7?
Say that again?
Giants are 2-7, right?
Giants have the first pick in the draft as of right now.
And that's making you happier than a pig in shit.
Mm-hmm.
Who called for Carolina to win immediately as soon as he saw the schedule? Yeah. You know what's funny is Jerry Jones did address that. He goes, "I know. I built the stadium this way. It's been this way the entire time. Opposing teams have to deal with it too."
You know why he built it like that, though? He explained that. Because he could have just went north to south with it instead of east to west, and there's no problem with that. But no, it looks better on TV with it like that, with the light coming through that. And that was the exact words. Didn't even take into consideration, hey, you could mess something up. It just looks good. Who do you think the Giants take with the number 1 pick in the draft? If he's there and we are at 1, I think it's Cam Ward. I think he's the safest bet at quarterback this year in the draft. Did you freeze, JB? You're going to have to. This is our year we can get out of Daniel Jones' contract. I think we take like an $18 million dead cap hit if we cut him this offseason. Any other season we try to do it, it's like over 40 or something like that. Oh, well, it's just me and y'all right now. I think JB is having some technical difficulties. Jackson Dart. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't take Jackson Dart at 1. Good afternoon, Paul Jones. Now, hear me out. I would potentially be okay with them trading out of the first round pick, though, and still until like the top 5 or 6, where we can still have potential to get a quarterback, but also the other picks to help address other needs on the line. I still think we need another tackle on the team. We need another guard. We need corners. But quarterback is the main thing there. Daniel Jones ain't the guy. Watch the first couple weeks. of the season so this year, he was trying to push the ball downfield. He was feeding Neighbors the ball 9 to 11 times a game. That all went away, and now he doesn't go above 10, 15-yard passes. He tries to dink and dunk, and the only production we're really been getting is out of Tyrone Tracy. So,
Sorry, I had to connect to the cell phone. Internet just dropped here.
your neighbor Moose probably moved his head again, didn't he?
No, I think my satellite reflective dome here blocked the signal. Who do you think the Giants take with the number 1 pick, Jackson Dart? Ooh,
Hang on, the Giants quarterback number 1. What quarterback's at a basketball school?
Miami? But that was kind of funny.
No.
No,
No, I want nothing to do with Quinn Ewers or freaking Sanders. I do love
DJ Ugalele?
No, absolutely have to not.
If
I don't hate Quinn Ewers. Look, I don't hate Quinn Ewers, but I hate how he quit on his freaking team. So that's not a guy for me. I don't care about Deion Sanders. And Kyle Accord, no. Cam Ward's the only one that makes sense if we're going quarterback. That's a luxury pick that we cannot afford right now.
Travis Hunter?
Yep.
I don't think it's a luxury. Him or Ashton Genty, I'd be all over at the number 1 pick. I'm sorry. He wants Jack Tuttle, Davis Warren, or Alex Orgy. Don't let him fool you.
Ricky. I'm a Hurricanes fan, not brain dead.
I agree, Paul Jones. O-line, D-line, they still need a running back that's more consistent than Tyrone Tracy.
I think we could be
in my
okay with
opinion.
him.
Just in my opinion.
And I agree, but I don't hear me out here. I wouldn't mind picking up a veteran in the offseason. I still want to draft a number 1, the first pick as a quarterback. Second round, we can get offensive line or a running back.
I agree. If Hunters and Neighbors are the wide receivers there and you got the good O-line, get the O-line fixed with that first pick. Rest
You know
in
the
peace,
thing, though?
John Robinson. Are you talking about John Robinson, the
Packer guy, right?
No. The David Gray is the Packer guy that passed away. The Lions fan that used to come on here and chat with us. Giants need an O-line before they need a QB, in my opinion.
See, I agree with JB on this. You build your trenches first. But right now, we're really not having a bad offensive line play outside of John Michael Schmidt here and there. Runyons is doing good. Greg Van Roden is one of the best offensive linemen in the entire league this year, and I don't know how. Jermaine Elmanor has let up like 5 pressures all season with 1 sack. Andrew Thomas will be back next year from the foot injury. And if you watch the game, Evan Neal actually looked like he wasn't brain dead. But yes, I agree. Build your trenches, make sure it's strong. Then you get your quarterback so he doesn't die. Because I don't want a guy that's going to run around like crazy. Oh, former Rams coach. When did that happen? Daniel Jones is 27 years old.
Yesterday,
Harpazzo, he is 27 years old, sir.
Did you hear me? John Robinson.
Yeah, he passed away yesterday. That sucks.
Rest in peace. They need they need a little bit of everything. Dylan Gabriel, number 1 to the Giants. No, he does not want Jones back next year. He already said he'd take a vet QB or anybody and then draft a quarterback, but I still would go O-line. That's just me.
Not at number one. I don't go O-line. I trade that pick back and go O-line. But at that point, I'm going to already say, screw it, I'm going to tank next year too, and I'm going to go for the better quarterback class the following year.
Jeremiah
You
Smith.
can't say that.
He's
Jeremiah Smith.
he's doing so many random names. He's being about as accurate as Jeremy Bulrick Jr. right now.
Paul Jones, here's one of my biggest issues with him. His mechanics are trash. 1 week he looks great and he's reading defenses. Next week his mechanics go to trash. He has time in the pocket and then he can't read a defense. But go back and look at him in any 2-minute drill and he's amazing. He baffles me. It makes no sense. And he throws balls in the dirt way too much. He has a bad trajectory on his arm.
So overall, the defense actually did admirably well and really shored things up in the second half. That was a great adjustment by Aaron Glenn. And I want to give kudos to a guy that nobody's talked about, our secondary coach that's actually a player that didn't play, that was on that sideline coaching up the D-line. Darius Smith. Every time they came off the field, he was next to Tyrell Williams at the surface and going over things with each individual defensive end. And coincidentally, since Aiden Hutchinson went down, I think this is the first time we had 3 sacks by D linemen.
Is Jalen Milroe coming out, though?
He might. I think that they said that this is the last year of all the COVID exemptions. So I think they all have to come out this year.
What the hell is popping?
So
I wouldn't trade a strap on for Daniel Jones either.
So Dan Campbell addressed the fact on why Darius Smith didn't play. They gave him the week off so he could go and make repairs on his home in Florida that was damaged by the hurricanes. He couldn't do because he didn't have his bye week yet. So he did all of that, and yet he still flew from Florida to Houston to promote the team and support the team. And then an anonymous NFL agent, they didn't need to do that, but they did that because they respect players. That goes a long way. Not many teams would do that, truthfully.
Well, it's a new thing for you guys. Because that's snacks.
Because that's nice.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know what? It's been that way since Dan's got here. When people needed personal time off, he hasn't stopped.
Because realistically, you can't perform to your peak if you got shit on your mind like that.
Right. Best thing that happened to Goff was he met his girlfriend after he wanted to pipe McVay's girlfriend. Come on, that's funny and you know it. I'm not wrong.
Just give it time, Jeremy.
I know what you're saying, Sarah. It's both, because this was supposed to be his bye week, so technically he earned a day off. But the fact that he came in and did what he did for the D-line, I think it's amazing. It shows he wants to be here. That's horrible, Jeremy.
Right there, Ricky. Double Brian Branch for you, buddy.
That's $5,000 a piece. I expected in my Zelly in the morning.
Huh?
The fines for birds. It was issued by the NFL. It's $5,000 a piece. Come on, that was funny, and you know it. Come on, that was good. You're flipping off fans, $5K apiece. Yeah, Tony Todd, the original Candyman, died last week on Friday.
That's for a while there started to bother me. And then I just started realizing, you know what? I'm old, so this shit's going to happen now.
Right. I mean, all these guys are in their late 50s, 60s, and 70 years old. I'm getting there. I'm at the uphill side of 50 yet. I got one more year, and then all of a sudden I go. That'll be 22 grand, Von Doom. No, it wasn't a helmet. The helmet hit. He didn't do that. How are we feeling about the Bears? I don't think it makes a difference. Locker room loss. Absolutely agree, Sarah. You can't be 14-29 as a head coach. You can't. You can't. And keep your job.
That's not completely true either. Because Dan Campbell's first 2 years were awful, record-wise.
I understand. But it was, what, 9? That was 12-1 and I'm adding it together. 22.
Yeah, it was still pretty bad, but he was given the time to build his culture. And he never lost the locker because he leads men.
Right. That's what I'm getting at.
He's not a football coach.
No, he's a leader of men. I disagree with you there. I think he's a great coach.
I think he's learning on the job and getting better. But he was not a football coach coming in. He was just somebody that can motivate you and instill a culture, which is what you guys needed up there the most. You good? You looked worried over there.
No. Some news. That's all.
Well, the money they spent there was spent stupidly. Yeah, I get it. You went and got Keenan Allen because Caleb Williams liked him. You shouldn't have got Rome. You shouldn't have got freaking Swift. You could have kept freaking Herbert there and addressed your offensive line, and then they don't have these problems because that defense holds up. Still kind of good, even though they don't care anymore.
They signed Ryan Bates, who was 5 spots better than Nate Davis, according to PFF, who played his first game and looked like dog shit last week.
KOC. Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell and Flus.
Yeah, you can compare them apples to apples then.
Yeah, I know. I'm having some internet issues here. I had to switch to my hotspot, and it doesn't have the best of signals.
I'm not even going to really blame Eberflus for everything because he can only work with what he's given. Ryan Pohl should be taking a lot of blame for that team right now.
Oh, 100%.
Besides just the fact of not addressing that, for letting there be this kind of expectations for them this year right away. And Caleb should not have been thrown to the fire the way he was and then expect him to be the savior of Chicago right away. While he's a great quarterback, potential talent out the door, bad situation.
I did say the 3-1 Tyson Bagent from last year that knew the offense should have been the quarterback to start the season. And if it went bad, then bring Caleb in.
You know, you're probably right that way. I'm not sure how Van Sfairs would have went about that, considering they got rid of Fields for him. But either way, you're probably right on that. What sucks for Caleb now, though, you just got rid of Shane Walter. You got rid of his offensive coordinator. That's number one on the list. How many years before his first contract's up is he going to have a new offensive coordinator or head coach?
Every year. Just like
exactly. Before. Just like the same thing that happened with the Giants and Daniel Jones. When you do stuff to that, you hamper the development of these players.
Yeah, because they're constantly learning. They're not developing. There's a big difference here. And I've been trying to explain that to a lot of people. That's why sometimes getting a veteran QB that's in their prime is better for a team. Oh, but ask a Bears fan. They did do good for their old line prior to the season. I was in that show. Leonard saw it. Remember, Ken the Bear fan fought on me. Well, we signed another guard. We drafted Darnell Wright last year. We'll be fine.
Ken the Bears fan is not the smartest.
I think Caleb's going to be 10 times better year one than Jason Daniels. Look at the weapons around him. You remember that statement?
Mm-hmm.
And what did
Yes,
we
I do.
reply? You replied it in the chat, and I replied it right there at the same time, just before you said it, just before you typed it in. You said, "You're in my head, JB." I remember this because I said, as long as that O-line is that trash, Caleb will struggle. Guess who's the most sacked quarterback in the league right now at 42?
Caleb Williams.
Guess who's second? And it's not close in how many times he's been sacked.
I don't know.
CJ Stroud with 22.
Yeah, they've had bad interior offensive line play this year. Ricky, one of the smartest people I know is a Bears fan, actually. But he's just loyal because he's old as hell and been a fan of the Bears since the 60s.
You can't help it. He was born that way.
Exactly.
Kind of like me being a Lions fan or Leonard being a Giants fan. We were born into it.
Mm-hmm. JJ McCarthy be better than Caleb Williams next year? He'd be better by proxy just because they have better pieces around him. I'm not going to say JJ McCarthy is anywhere on the level of pure talent as Caleb Williams has, because he's not.
What it does look like he has better than Caleb Williams is decision making. Mechanics wise, no. I'm gonna say
Caleb
that
plays
right
too
now.
much hero ball.
Caleb plays way too much hero ball. He holds the ball too long, which puts the O-line in a bad situation. When you have a bad O-line, you should be throwing faster. Paul Jones. Oh, I do too, Sarah. But at the same time, being hurt this year hinders his development as well.
To an extent. I think it hinders his development on field with reps, but I think it gives him more time to dive into the playbook and learn it.
Right. As long as there isn't like a coaching change. And I mean at offensive coordinator. Because if they switch offensive coordinators, guess what? All that's out the window.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it. The Vikings have been a better organization than the Bears, and it's not close. They've had better ownership. Why? They let football people make football decisions, and that's the biggest difference between Sheila Ford Hamp and her mother and her father. They didn't know how to make decisions, but instead of letting the football guys make decisions, they dipped their hands in it and made stupid decisions. Does that make sense what I said there, Bandu?
Yeah. They do exactly what Jerry Jones does every day.
I'm pretty sure the shine has wore off on Darnold a lot. I doubt they re-sign him. They might, but it won't be for starter money. It'll be again like another $10 to $12 million deal. Keep him as a backup.
Unless he gets hot again this year and takes him into the playoffs and does something, I could see him being one and done or just brought back as a freaking security guy. How is JJ a proven leader? He provenly knows how to lead the ball into Blake Corum or Donovan Edwards' hands and let them run the ball. Don't go that way, man. Don't be a homer, Blake. I mean, Brent.
I'm gonna say about JJ last year, for as many wild throws he had just as many what the fuck throws.
Mm-hmm.
I said he needed another year in college.
He should have stayed.
With what Johnson told Shefty, I don't think Johnson's leaving. It's going to take a buttload of money for somebody to get him. Washington was offering $14 million and he turned them down. So he's making $12 million a year here as a coordinator. There's NFL coaches that don't make that much right now. That's no
I
bullshit.
don't think he's going to be there next year. I think he's going to end up somewhere else. Somebody will give him the bag, especially if you guys do go deep into the playoffs. Oh, and you know what? I figured it out. That's why Jared got through all those interceptions. He was trying to sandbag Ben Johnson's chances of his new job, so he has to stay there. He's a fucking evil genius.
I understand Vikings made it clear. I think he needed another year in college of playing before he ever played in the NFL again, is what I'm saying. Can he make all the throws in pajamas? Yes, 100% he can, because there's no pressure. And was he having a decent preseason? Sure. How many teams were there playing against starters at the time? He got hurt, what, second week of the preseason?
Sir, I believe you are correct there.
I just don't think we're going to be. I think, if anything, Sheila's going to say, what if we give you 14 mil and makes him so he's $2 million behind Dan Campbell? And he says, okay, I'll stay. I just think that's going to happen because there is no coaching salary budget.
Yeah, but at that point, man, why does he stay? What does he have to gain from that? Who really goes in there and says, hey, I just want to be an offensive coordinator? No, you want to be the head coach. You want to be the guy in charge. You want to be big ball swinging. Right? Big ball swinging. What the fuck did I just say?
I don't know. I don't know what you just said.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. But Sarah and Mike Huck are the leaders of the contest with 10 wins. We got Kitty Ken, Matt Henry, and Will Vogel at 9. Moonscar and Dwayne Keene at 8. J.I. at 7. Jim Jackson and King S.J. at 6 apiece. Congratulations, Sarah. You're in the lead in a tie. Make sure you put the Monday Night Football total points at the end because that's the tiebreaker. Because whoever's closest, I can move them up or down. I'm just saying it's a tie at first because neither one of you did it. I'll be posting the other pick'em sheet today, Sarah.
I think whoever wins, I'm going to throw in some random shit too.
Oh, just some random like Christmas ornaments and stuff like that.
Yeah, random stuff. We'll see. Maybe some bottle openers.
Yeah, you did good. Just like me, I tied at 10. Dang, almost 70. You kept going for the favorites, and I said there's going to be some upsets this week.
Dude, we knew there were going to be upsets. Vegas got hammered so hard in October. Something had to happen this week.
You know what's funny is I fucked up the Monday night pick in L.A. Yeah, we all did. I think everybody in the league picked L.A. to win that game.
What random stuff, dude? I got ornaments. I've got coasters.
Tumblers.
We got lanyards, tumblers, a bunch of different bottle opener type stuff. Whatever else I decide to make.
Yeah. 3 more to go there, J.I. There's 3 more weeks yet in November. Mm-hmm. Like I said, everybody has to play a minimum of 3 weeks. Yeah, everybody picked the Rams. I picked the Rams. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think the Dolphins had a shot. And all of a sudden, I turned around in the first quarter. It's 10-0. I was like, ooh.
Oh, did you see Tua try to make the tackle on the interception?
Yes, I did.
I will not throw in a Pepsi t-shirt, sir. I love my Pepsi t-shirts.
Yes, VD does do great work. That is a good compliment, Will.
I go back to work on Friday. Thank Jesus.
Yeah, I know. You need money.
You're damn right. And I need to get the hell out of the house a little bit. I'm going to start crazy.
I know. I can tell. Because you're like, hey, you want me to come on? You never do that.
Exactly. Hell, I vacuumed my carpet 3 times today just because I just needed something to do.
So, Will, you are tied with Kitty Ken and Matt Henry for 3rd place because there's 2 people atop at 10.
Who are the Packers playing?
The Packers are playing the Bears in Lambeau.
That's Packers. I'm not gonna take Packers there.
I'm gonna have to too, and I hate the Packers. We all know why I hate the Packers. Zach Taylor fucked my pick. Yeah, I know.
Vacation, bro? No, I tore my freaking labrum. I've been out on short term since like mid-September.
Yeah.
I wish I was on vacation.
But it is that time where we start from the bottom and work our way to the top, Leonard. Ready?
Wish my wife would do that.
Amen. It fucked the Bears at 4-5 and 0-0 in the division. They're so far in the basement, I don't think they'll get here.
The Bears.
And it's FTP. Say it, Mondo.
Fuck the Packers.
They are at 6-3, coming off a bye week. 0-2 in the division. The Minnesota Vikings got to skull fuck the Jags with their kicker and improved to 7-2. And in first place and still the leaders of the North at 8-1. Let's make it 9-1 versus the Jaguars. 2-0 in the division. It's the mighty, mighty Lions.
Sarah, I'm sorry. TMI. Things like that just pop in my head, and I can't really filter them all the time. You know, I just realized that Homer Simpson one there, it says King of the North. It says Homer on his jersey. I love it.
It is, ain't it great? That's why I picked it. I love this picture.
Fuck them kids.
Oh. But I will go. I saw that. Yeah, I know we're breaking up. I'm having a connection issue. It's because I'm using my cell phone right now. But at the top, we got Sarah and Mike tied for first at 10 wins. We got Kitty Ken, Matt Henry, and Will Vogel tied at 9. We got Moonscar and Dwayne Keene tied at 8. J.I. has 7 wins, and Jim Jackson and King S.J. both had 6. You want to hear that, Will? I am the great and powerful Oz.
Wow, you just gave him a clip for his spank bank, JB. Good job.
The Bears are changing their name to the Pears in honor of LGBTQB1. That's kind of funny.
Will and his weirdo requests.
Got to get it to the right spot.
List of just USC players, but also all the other players that came out of all these other schools in the Pac-12. So honored and blessed to be there last year, and honored and blessed to be able to, share the podium and stadium or stage, with a bunch of guys that were a part of it. So thanks everybody. Thanks everybody.
Go Bears! I had to play that after seeing LGBTQB1. That was Caleb Williams saying, "Go Bears." Go Bears.
When do you put the pick'em list on the community channel?
I will do it after the show. That's when I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put it up on Tuesdays after the share. Last but not least, it is time to do the paying sponsor. Brandon Service right at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, 602 West Atherton Road. In Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Stop in and check us out. Used tires starting at $45 and up, depending on size and condition. If you need new tires, please call 810-233-8230. Talk to George, Red, or on Saturdays, talk to myself. Except this weekend, with it being rifle hunting season on the 15th, I'm working all weekend. which means we can't do the watch party at Sharky's this week. I have to delete that post. It sucks, but I have to work, and money trumps watching football. Don't you agree, Leonard?
Damn right.
So I will be at Brandon service from 2 to 7 on Friday, 2 to 7 on Saturday, and 1 to 5:30 on Sunday.
So stop by, get some tires, watch the game with JB. There you go.
Amen. I'll have it on the phone. That's 100%. But try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. Is it starts right here. Much love, everybody. Unless you're talking to your rival fan base, then fuck them. Peace, love, and chicken grease, everybody.